People are using a new feature from Perplexity to game Google. That's what I am talking about on this episode of The Edward Show, episode 346. This is my last day in Europe for a little bit, flying to Brooklyn tomorrow. Haven't packed. My co-founder sent me this thread about people gaming Google using Perplexity, and I spent the entire first half of my day looking into it. And it's quite interesting. And I think it's also getting patched up soon. But I want to share what's happening if you don't know. So Perplexity AI, it's an AI chatbot and conversational search engine, well known, just like ChatGPT. And it released something called Pages. So first I'm going to read a tweet from Brett Adcock from Figure. Brett Adcock is a well-known person in the AI space. He's the founder of Figure. He said, Perplexity unveiled Pages, a new tool for turning research into full-on web pages, such as articles, reports, and guides. To top it off, the web pages are already starting to rank on Google search. That was June 2nd. On June 4th, Search Engine Land put out an article that said Perplexity Pages showing in Google AI overviews featured snippets. You can now find AI overviews generated by the Perplexity search engine in your Google AI overviews and search results. So before I read this article, Google should not be showing all this AI generated text because oftentimes it is not proofread, does not have any human proofreaders, and the information is quite often wrong. Really, it's so often that it is just wrong or misleading. And Google has taken a stance. They don't want to recommend AI junk in their search engine results pages, even though they are happy recommending their own AI answers, which haven't been very good, as many people have pointed out, but they're there, so they trust it more because it's their answers. But they don't want to recommend all this AI content, all this AI-generated text, which is also why they are prioritizing user-generated content platforms like Reddit and Quora. But so Perplexity releases Pages, and SEOs do what SEOs are going to do, and SEOs are gaming this. On a previous episode, I talked about somebody, and if you're a frequent listener of the show, you'll know who I'm talking about. And this was years ago, this person used medium.com to game Google. This person had a blockchain game and made an article on Medium called the best blockchain games for, I think, 2018 and 2019. Put that person's blockchain game as number one, and then it ranked number one for best blockchain games. And this post stayed like that for years, and Sony even contacted the founder of the game, which was number one. If you're a listener of the show, you'll know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to say who anymore. But if you go back to my previous episode, you can find it. So the person makes this article, Best Blockchain Games on Medium, puts Best Blockchain Games as a keyword in the page title, the meta description, the H1, the first sentence, the URL, and that's it. Person used Medium's high domain authority to rank the article. And so that is what's happening with Perplexity. Perplexity has 61 out of 100 domain authority. People are creating these pages in order to get them indexed. They're buying backlinks to the pages or just dropping them onto Reddit. And because of Perplexity's high domain authority, these pages are ranking well for the desired keywords. Or at least that's what has been happening. So this is from Search Engine Land now on June 4th. Search Engine Land says, AI-powered search engine Perplexity introduced a new product, Perplexity Pages, to select free and paid users on May 30. Content from these pages has started appearing in Google's AI overviews and featured snippets, also just in the normal results. What are Perplexity Pages? Perplexity called it a way to share your knowledge with the world via in-depth articles, detailed reports, or informative guides. You can even select the audience type, beginner, advanced, anyone, when you have AI generate your content. You can also add sections, videos, images, and more. And we tried this. We created a few pages just to see. As TechCrunch explained it further, all these pages are publishable and also searchable through Google. You can share the link to these pages with other users. They can ask follow-up questions on the topic as well. What's more, users can also turn their existing conversation threads into pages with a click of a button. Super cool. Imagine writing an article and then having that article be interactive and you could ask questions to the article. Pages in Google. These pages are being indexed by Google and included as citations in AI overviews and appearing in featured snippets. Then there are some examples, and even Perplexity is touting this as being searchable and appearing in search for Google, but not anymore. So it's crazy what happened. So SEO saw this. Oh, there's a last section in this article. It's called spam. This definitely seems like a case of one search engine spamming another search engine. Or as Ryan Jones put it on X, an AI overview of an AI overview in search results pages in my search results page. Aside from that absurdity, Perplexity pages are ripe for abuse by those who will probably try to use it to hack their way into AI overviews. A big question is how Google will handle this new AI-generated content in its search results long term. This tactic could be short-lived, as pointed out in an X thread started by Glenn Gabe. Glenn Gabe said, "What? All these pages are publishable and also searchable through Google. Perplexity's AI new feature will turn your searches into shareable pages. Perplexity said its algorithms work to create a detailed article with different sections. You can ask the AI tool to rewrite or reformat any sections or even remove them. Plus, you can add a section by prompting the tool to write about a certain subtopic. Perplexity also helps you find and insert relevant media items such as images and videos." So that's what's happening. I just made a video about this, and I was so curious. I was looking into it further. And one of the reasons why I was so curious is because I noticed that Google was indexing these pages despite them having no index on them. The no index tag, you can see it with an SEO tool. The Moz bar will show it, or you could just view page source and see it in the code. It's very simple. A no index tag informs search engines not to index a page or a website, so it won't appear in the search engine results. So it literally tells Google and other search engines, don't index this. Do not include it in your index. And these search engines like Google are supposed to listen to this. But these Perplexity pages had no index and they were still showing up in Google. So after I made this video, I got so curious. Why is this happening? What is going on here? And I came across an interesting thread. And so when I made my video, I said my personal opinion is I think this will be short-lived. Right now, lots of SEOs are using it to game Google, and they're talking about that. And I just don't think it's going to last for much longer. I think Google engineers are already working to purge this, and it turns out that they are. And actually, even though Perplexity has said that these pages are searchable, they are also working to stop this. So funny. So a bunch of the Perplexity pages actually don't have no index on them, and then a bunch do. Why is that? And it turns out that Perplexity is putting no index on user pages, but not on their team's pages. So any of these AI pages that are created by the Perplexity team, somebody at Perplexity will not have no index on it. So it can still be indexed by Google. And then pages made by users will have no index on it. And basically what is happening is Google is already purging these pages. The theory is the no index is new, and some pages haven't been purged by Google yet. And it's an anti-growth decision by Perplexity. There's a whole thread about it on X. It's really funny. Google just hasn't noticed that a bunch of these pages have no index, and that's why some of them are still showing up. I was actually asked in the comments section from my video about this. Someone is like, I've been trying to get my pages removed from Google. I put no index on them, but they're still showing up. And I told this person, try resubmitting these pages to Google Search Console after you change it to no index. Google may not have crawled the updated page. And so the question that I'm going to end this episode with is, will this work in the next month? I will say no. And so the next question is, why did you even make this episode if you don't think it's going to be a viable strategy? You know, there are some threads where people said they got hundreds of thousands of visitors from gaming Perplexity with this strategy. And I think it's important to just know about these things as digital marketers. Like, I want to be the sickest organic marketer that I can be. I want to be the best at organic marketing. And one of the things that I study are use cases like this. It also helps me understand how Google works, how generative AI works when it recommends things. It increases my personal knowledge, which I can better use to pattern match to tell if a strategy is viable in the future. And actually, I was really impressed with this because you could generate all of these pages, interlink them, and then basically submit a hub page to Reddit or something to have it get indexed, and then all the pages get crawled. And it would be a really easy way to just use Perplexity's high domain authority to rank fast and high, but for a short amount of time. And it has been. It's been a short amount of time. It looks like Google is already fixing this. I'm going to end this episode with something that I say very often. I think the best shortcut is the long cut. I just like using my time to invest in things which I know will not be squashed in a month or two. So investing in long-term content strategies, which I know will last a long time. For example, my huge library of video content, which I've been building. My podcast is part of that. My videos on Instagram and TikTok and Shorts are part of that. Or my articles on my personal website, that's part of that too. I like investing in long-term plays because I don't think people realize just how much long-term content building compounds. It really is a compounding effect. And I saw that recently when I put out over 5 videos each day for just 2 days in a row. And I noticed that I started getting thousands of followers each day and that it increased daily. It was compounding. So I really just believe the best shortcut is a long cut, but it's still very useful to know about these things as an inbound marketer, as a digital marketer, as an organic marketer, because there are times when strategies like this will not be squashed for months. And I've seen that too. For example, Medium is now a horrible place to try to do Parasite SEO, which is when you use a high domain authority from another website to rank your own brand really well. Medium used to work. It doesn't work anymore, but that lasted for a while. Reddit right now is the new place for Parasite SEO. Quora is the new place for Parasite SEO. How much longer will that last? My guess is it's going to be over a year. But I'm not telling you to do that. It goes against the terms of service. And I think the best shortcut is the long cut. Okay, so that's what I'm ending this episode of The Edward Show with. This is episode 346 of my daily digital marketing podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. My last full day out here in Europe for a little bit. I fly out tomorrow and I'll make a podcast tomorrow morning. So I will talk to you again then. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.